Boomerang, West Lothian's weekly talking newspaper. It's Friday the 29th of November 2024, and this evening it's Team 2 who are bringing you the local news from around the county, which is taken from this week's Courier with permission. I'm Rebecca, and also reading for us tonight are Joanne and Jane. Sarah is on granny duties tonight, looking after her lovely baby granddaughter, which must be a real pleasure. Diane is in charge of the recording and editing, which we all very much appreciate. We're well into the preparations for the festive season now, and the shops are full of Christmassy stuff. I love it. Now, I don't think there's anything in the post bag, so now we can go on with the news.
Super Cops. Police officers hailed for life-saving acts of bravery by Debbie Hall. Hero police officers in West Lothian are being recognised for their life-saving acts of bravery after they saved an abducted baby from a horrific drug den. The team rescued the baby from a notorious drugs den in Fauldhouse, fighting off aggressive drug users and a dangerous dog. PCs Aidan McAllister, Graham Allister, Sewell and Kyle Whitlaw are among those up within Police Scotland for an award. The brave officers responded to reports of an intoxicated male wandering late at night while holding a baby in Fauldhouse last September. It emerged he had snuck into the home of an ex-partner, removed the baby and taken it to a property popular among local drug users. The team arrived knowing there would be trouble as the owner had an obsession with firearms and knives. A dangerous dog was registered at the property and shouting and banging could be heard from outside. However, rescuing the baby was the priority. An aggressive male answered the door, accompanied by a large Alsatian, and attempted to stop the officers from entering. But the PCs forced their way past and found the crying baby, who was inside the pitch-black house, which was strewn with knives, bats and other weapons. After they took the child to safety, the suspect became aggressive and two of the officers were injured in the struggle while the other drug users watched on. He was subsequently charged with a range of crimes and the baby was returned to its mother. Across Scotland, a total of 29 officers, including constables, sergeants, detectives and inspectors, have been shortlisted in 6 categories for the Scottish Police Federation's annual awards, which take place this week. David Threadgold, chair of the Scottish Police Federation, said, "Reading through the nominations for this year's awards is a humbling experience and demonstrates the extraordinary bravery and commitment shown by our officers. The situations dealt with by police serving our communities can sometimes be extremely dangerous, and none of us should ever take what they do for granted. Our annual awards are a moment to recognise those who go above and beyond to keep the public safe with dignity and resolve before coming back to work to do all again. We are incredibly proud of all the nominees and are grateful to each of them for their amazing achievements. They are a credit to themselves and to Scottish policing." Chief Constable Joe Farrell said, "The bravery, dedication, skill and professionalism of our officers is hugely impressive, and I thank the Scottish Police Federation for shining a light on some of their outstanding work. These awards are an important night in the policing calendar when we recognise and celebrate our officers for their vital public service. I thank all officers and their families for everything they do for policing and our communities and offer warm congratulations to nominees and recipients."
Boundary changes to be discussed. People in Whitburn and Fauldhouse will get a chance to air their views on proposals to move their towns into a new parliamentary constituency in time for the next Holyrood elections. Plans by Boundaries Scotland to lump the communities in with North Lanarkshire caused concern when first announced a month ago. Now, a local public inquiry will take place in Whitburn early next month to give residents their say. Boundaries Scotland is carrying out a review of constituency boundaries for the next Holyrood elections in 2026. The body has suggested that the two West Lothian communities join an Airdrie constituency based around the town 14 miles to the west. Councillors criticised the plan when it was first mooted to them, suggesting no communal ties between Whitburn and Fauldhouse to the towns in the North Lanarkshire Council area. The same proposed changes would see West Lothian removed from the Lothian Regional list and put into a Central Scotland list for a choice of MSPs in the 2026 election. Boundaries Scotland said in a statement, the Whitburn local inquiry will be held on 3rd of December 2024 at the Whitburn Partnership Centre and will be chaired by Assistant Commissioner Ross. 2 sessions will be held, with the first starting at 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. and the second at 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. In response to previous consultations and local inquiries, the further proposal for the Airdrie constituency included Fauldhouse and Whitburn. Speaking to last month's council meeting of West Lothian's council executive, councillor leader Lawrence Fitzpatrick said the proposals contravene 2 of the 4 rules laid down by the Boundaries Scotland governing boundary changes. He said the proposal disregards the boundaries of West Lothian and very strong existing ties with these communities. By splitting 2 West Lothian council wards between Airdrie and the other constituencies, the proposals conflict with the fact that regard must be had to the boundaries, and Rule 4, they disregard local identities, links and ties with local communities. I think we all agree Fauldhouse and Whitburn have strong links to the rest of West Lothian. In terms of work education, people from the communities are more likely to commute to and work in Livingston, Bathgate and Edinburgh. Chair of Boundaries Scotland, Professor Ailsa Henderson said, local inquiries are held by us in areas where a local authority has objected to our proposals for constituencies or regions, where there has been a strong local response or where we feel we require additional information. They are an important part of the process. If we subsequently change our proposals in any area, we will consult again in early 2025.
Tribute Award for Volunteer Worker. Julian gets £100 gift voucher for helping youths. And this article is by Debbie Hall. The Centre Livingston has paid tribute to an outstanding volunteer by presenting him with a very special award. Julian Kerchipa, who helps out at the Venny in Knightridge, was handed the volunteer award and a £100 gift card in recognition of the fantastic work he has been doing to help young people at the community organisation. The aim of the award, which has been running for many years, is to reward and recognise the great work by people in West Lothian who give up their own time to help others and present them with a personalised framed certificate and £100 gift card to treat themselves. Julian was nominated by the sports coach at the club, Jen McCusker, who highlighted his extraordinary dedication and contribution to the Venny, which provides educational and social opportunities for children aged 5 to 18, including creative sessions, bike hire, football coaching, and building a community garden. Jen said, Julian has become an essential part of what we do at the Venny Club over the past 12 months, consistently showing exceptional commitment to his volunteer roles. Not only does he organise the free bike hire 4 days a week, which provides a vital service to the young people within our clubs and the wider community, but he has also taken the lead in the Youth Garden enterprise. He mentors lots of young people and teaches them valuable skills like repairing bikes, allowing them to foster a sense of responsibility and accomplishment. His unwavering commitment and leadership has truly inspired the young people we work with. He is a tireless volunteer and a fantastic role model, which is why he is very deserving of this award. Julian said, being presented with my volunteer award was totally unexpected and such an amazing surprise. I really enjoy volunteering at the venue, which is really rewarding, enjoyable and great fun. It has also given me the opportunity to take part in lots of exciting projects, including hiring out the bikes, which has so many benefits for the young people who come to the club, and coaching our new under-12s football team. I've also had the opportunity to help out at Hopscotch Children's Charity, which provides breakaway trips for children who benefit from getting time away from all the stresses of life and to create happy memories. I would like to say a huge thank you to the Centre Livingston for all their support and recognition of volunteers in the community, and for personally presenting the award to me, which made it even more special. Patrick Robertsi, Centre Director at the Centre Livingston, said, "We are delighted to present Julian with this very well-deserved volunteer award for the outstanding work he has been doing with the young people at the venue. It was great to be able to present our volunteer award to him in person and learn more about the fantastic facilities and opportunities the club is providing for young people in the local area, and to help them to learn new skills and experiences, socialise and have fun. If you know anyone who deserves recognition and a special reward for the great volunteering work they are doing in the community, please send your nominations to inquiries@thecentrelivingston.com.
Students put in a kitchen shift. A 6-course meal prepared for MSPs by Debbie Hall. Students from West Lothian College took over the kitchen and restaurant at the Scottish Parliament to whip up an outstanding meal for MSPs. The students from the college's Level 5 and 6 professional cookery course presented a sumptuous 6-course tasting menu at Holyrood on November the 19th. The menu included a smoked salmon frittata, pork and black pudding Wellington, and sticky figgy pudding, and it went down a storm with the politicians and the Parliament staff. Local MSP for the Linlithgow constituency, Fiona Hislop, attended the evening. She said, "I was pleased to attend the Holyrood dining room in the Scottish Parliament, where Level 6 professional cookery from West Lothian College cooked and served an excellent tasting menu. The 6-course tasting menu included a smoked salmon frittata, pork and black pudding Wellington, and sticky figgy pudding. The students from West Lothian College not only cooked a wonderful meal, but also provided excellent service, and I hope benefited from the experience and talking to the Parliament chefs. Congratulations to the staff and the students involved in serving delicious, flavoursome food, so well presented and served by the attentive waiting staff." The college said the evening had been a great experience for students, who also got to learn some tips from the chefs at the Parliament. Lynn Bain, Director of Business, Creative and Enterprise at West Lothian College, said, "We are thrilled that our talented Level 5 and 6 professional cookery students had the honour of returning to the Scottish Parliament this year to deliver a 6-course menu, which went down a treat. Many thanks to Stuart Rose and the entire team for providing this opportunity. Experiences like these are pivotal for our students, allowing them to develop their skills and showcase their talents. Working alongside the Parliament chefs has also given them real-world experience that will help them in their future careers." And there is an accompanying picture of the students with local MSP Fiona Hislop, and the students are wearing really very professional outfits. They have got on navy blue aprons, and they have on white shirts. Some of them, I don't know if it depends which task you're doing in the kitchen, some have navy blue and white striped aprons. I don't know if that's to differentiate between maybe sous chefs and things, but they're looking very, very pleased with themselves, and they should be.
West Lothian swim star Jim Anderson OBE has been inducted into the Scottish Sports Hall of Fame. Another article by Debbie Hall. Jim Anderson, affectionately known as Jim the Swim, is a celebrated Scottish former Paralympic swimmer whose remarkable career spanned 2 decades, during which he consistently performed at the highest levels of competition, making him a true icon in the world of paraswimming. Over his impressive career, he represented Great Britain at 6 Paralympic Games from 1992 to 2012, securing a remarkable 6 gold medals. 4 of Jim's golds were won at a successful 2004 Athens Games, where he excelled in the 50 metres, 100 metres and 200 metres freestyle, as well as the 50 metres backstroke. He also won 2 gold medals at the 1996 Atlanta Games. His achievements extend beyond the Paralympics. He has set 2 world records and 4 European records. Throughout his career, he amassed a staggering 57 medals across various competitions, including 17 medals at the Paralympics between 1992 and 2012, and 18 at World Championships from 1994 to 2010. Jim also wrote a book about his life and his determination, dedication and discipline to reach his goals. He joins Dame Catherine Granger, DBE, and Colin Montgomery, OBE, as all 3 Scottish athletes will be officially inducted into the Scottish Sports Hall of Fame at the Scottish Sports Award 2024, hosted by Sports Scotland and Team Scotland on Wednesday, December 4th. The evening is dedicated to celebrating the success of individuals, school clubs and teams across the whole of Scottish sport. Jim from Broxburn said, "I'm honoured, delighted and privileged to have been nominated to be part of the Hall of Fame." Paul Wilson, Scottish Swimming Disability Performance Development Manager, said, "As one of the original trailblazers of Paralympic swimming, I am delighted that Jim Anderson is being inducted into the Scottish Sports Hall of Fame. A 6-time Paralympian, Jim has undoubtedly played a significant part in getting more athletes with a disability into swimming. He continues his legacy to this day by working with national squad swimmers and inspiring them to perform on the world stage. This accolade is testament to Jim's commitment and tenacity for the sport he loves and is richly deserved." The Scottish Sports Hall of Fame was established by Sports Scotland in 2002 to recognise and honour the many great champions this country has produced. It has delivered on that ambition, enabling us to celebrate the achievements of Scotland's finest athletes and role models and the impact they have on subsequent generations. Inductees are decided by a panel of judges from across the sporting system who come together each year for the Scottish Sports Awards. The Hall of Fame stands as a tribute to the champions and the newest inductees as prime examples of Scottish sporting champions. Chair of Sports Scotland, Maureen Campbell, said, "The Scottish Sports Hall of Fame allows us all to pay tribute and celebrate Scotland's iconic sportsmen and sportswomen. The 3 new Hall of Fame inductees epitomise what it means to be a great Scottish sporting champion, and we are all thrilled to be able to honour them for all they have given to Scottish sport over the course of their careers." Marie Todd, Minister for Sport, congratulated all 3 Hall of Fame inductees, saying, "Colin, Catherine and Jim have demonstrated immense determination and commitment over the course of their distinguished sporting careers to make us proud as a nation, and I am delighted to see these achievements recognised." And there's a fantastic photograph of Jim at the Athens Games, hands raised in the air. He's got his laurel wreath on his head, and he's also got a laurel wreath in his hands, celebrating his fantastic win. And I have to say, I've had the pleasure of meeting Jim, who brought all his gold medals along to the school I was head teacher at, and the kids were really impressed by his achievements.
Green light for plans at Bangor. This article is by Stuart Somerville. Councillors have agreed plans for the conversion of the listed buildings on the site of Bangor Village. The former hospital buildings and church will be integrated into the new housing development, which will provide almost 1,000 homes in West Lothian near Dechmont. The only criticism came from councillors who said both council and developers should have considered underground communal bins instead of adopting common practice for flats with bin stores. Communal bin stores are popular in Europe and in some redeveloped city sites in the UK, where large underground bins, which are emptied by specialised vehicles, replace multiple and unsightly communal bins stored on the surface. They are difficult and expensive to refit, but could easily be built into new build developments. The housing plans had been delayed for a month after the last meeting of the Development Management Committee, as councillors claimed they did not have time or information on which to make a decision. Councillors on the Development Management Committee voted to approve 2 applications for the final phase of the residential development at Bangor, which would take the total number of homes approved on the site up to 976. A further 4 applications were also granted for listing building consent to allow the future of the historic buildings to be secured by converting them to residential apartments. The latest consents take the number of homes agreed to 976 and includes all of the retained listed buildings occupying the northerly part of the Bangor site. The only visible changes to the listed buildings are that some of the chimneys will have to be removed as the internal structure walls are changed. Gable end ones will be retained. Councillor Tom Conn told the meeting, "We have been on a long journey getting to today, but the overall plan that has been presented to us, retaining the buildings and restoration of the church, are both very positive outcomes of the process that we have gone through, so I welcome the development in that sense. But I have to finish on a negative note and take on board what the developer has said, that he is not prepared to reconsider the position on waste collection and disposal. I find that really disappointing, particularly given the district heating system on site. For me, it falls at the final hurdle." Speaking for developers, planning consultant Robert Evans said that the discussion with the council had concentrated on waste management that would be uniform with the rest of the county, using overground bin stores. Councillor Conn had suggested earlier in the meeting that the provision of large underground bin stores could have been introduced into plans for the flats, rather than relying on introducing factoring to control waste management. Large underground bin stores would have encouraged residents to take their rubbish for disposal and recycling, he said. It was a position which won backing across the chamber from SNP councillors and Tory group leader Damien Doran-Timpson, who suggested that the council should have done more to encourage the development. And there is a photograph here of one of the listed buildings at Bangor Village. It really is a magnificent Victorian building, and it's good that it's going to be redeveloped.
Charity's festive dinner appeal. People across West Lothian are being urged to donate £1 to help provide a tasty Christmas dinner to struggling families. There isn't very much you can buy for £1 these days at all, but do you know how valuable £1 can be if multiple people put their hands in their pocket? That's the message from big-hearted West Lothian women Deborah Gemmell and Lorna Brown, who are helping families through their Greater Good campaign. Through this, they are providing struggling families with a Christmas dinner again this year. Deborah explained it costs the Greater Good approximately £70 to £80 to feed one family at Christmas. If everyone on our Facebook page alone just paid £1 to our Just Giving page, then we would be able to feed approximately 37 families. Now, does that put into perspective how far £1 could go if we all worked together? A packet of crisps or feed a family, a luxury Christmas dinner, all for £1. Deborah is also appealing to local businesses to dig deep and help the cause. You can give a cash donation or a gift donation of products you make, sell, or vouchers to spend in your shop, or hold a bake sale, raffle, or fundraiser and donate the money raised. In return, Deborah and Lorna will advertise your business on Facebook and ask their friends and followers to like and share your business page. To donate, they have a Just Giving page, which is justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Lorna-Brown, all lowercase. And there is a picture of a lot of very happy people who I think are possibly some of the families who were being helped last year, and Santa is in the middle of them, and the children look extremely happy, and a lot of people are wearing red and white Santa hats. Lots of young, happy children, Christmas jumpers on too. Nice picture.
Carer allegedly stole cigarettes from residents. A West Lothian carer has been struck off after allegedly stealing a number of cigarettes from a vulnerable resident. Abby McCormack was working as a care assistant for HC1 Limited at Red Mill Nursing Home in Whitburn before she acted dishonestly. On around October 29th and October 30th, 2023, McCormack allegedly stole the cigarettes from a resident, AA, causing her fitness to practice to be impaired. Following the incident, the Scottish Social Services Council conducted a review into the actions and described the behaviour as serious and say it was an abuse of trust. According to the review, the behaviour took place over 2 days and caused financial harm to the resident. The review reads, social service workers are expected to be truthful, open, honest and trustworthy. By stealing from service user AA, you have acted in a dishonest and untrustworthy manner. Social service workers are also expected not to put others at unnecessary risk of harm. By stealing from AA, you caused financial harm to her and her family, and also put AA and her family at risk of emotional harm. Your behaviour has been assessed as serious due to the risk of harm your behaviour posed to AA. Dishonesty is also listed in the SSC's decisions guidance as behaviour where more serious action may be required. This behaviour is not easily remediable as it raises concerns about your values. Your actions risk damaging the relationship between AA and other carers. Your actions also risk damaging the relationship between AA's other carers and her family. A spokesperson for Red Mill Nursing Home said, kindness and integrity are two of our core values, are of paramount importance to us, and we do not tolerate behaviour which does not reflect these values. When we were first made aware of Ms McCormack's behaviour, she was suspended and we investigated the matter, and she has not worked at our home since this took place last year. Having reported her to the SSSC, we are grateful they have taken robust action to uphold the essential standards all care workers should meet. We will always act swiftly to prioritise the well-being of the people we support. And there's a picture of the site where Red Mill Nursing Home is in Whitburn.
Give a Little Back at Outlet, an article by Debbie Hall. The Giving Tree is back at Livingston Designer Outlet once again as it prepares for another successful year of support. Until December the 18th, guests visiting the retail outlet are encouraged to buy and donate a gift to the West Lothian Financial Inclusion Network's North Pole project, which aims to collect hundreds of Christmas boxes to ensure that children or teenagers who live locally will wake up to a gift on Christmas Day. Livingston Designer Outlet is urging locals to support the worthwhile cause, which is taking place for the 4th consecutive year. This year, the support and help from local people and businesses has never been more vital. The charity has seen an increase in requests for its support services, and as we approach Christmas, the charity has never been in greater demand. Last year, the Giving Tree made a huge impact by providing gifts to over 1,000 families, thanks to the incredible generosity of the local community. Now in its 4th year, the success of the campaign depends on the ongoing support of individuals and businesses in the area, which is especially crucial this holiday season. The charity has seen an increase in requests for its support services as it approaches the festive period, so support and help from local people and businesses has never been more vital. The Christmas Giving Tree is located at guest services on the ground floor. Gifts range from items such as t-shirts, jackets, pyjamas, socks, hats, crafts, books, sweets, toiletries or small toys. Kyle Wilson, marketing manager at the Livingston Designer Outlet, said, "We are very aware that every little helps this Christmas, and that has never been more apparent than now. No child or family should go without, especially at Christmas, and we are urging our guests to buy a little extra something while Christmas shopping with us and add to one of the Christmas boxes." Sheila Jimison, Trustee Chairman of West Lothian Financial Inclusion Service, said, "We are extremely grateful for each and every donation. Last year, the amazing donation from Livingston Designer Outfit made a huge difference to the number of Christmas shoeboxes we were able to share with West Lothian families." Now, I've got some information. Unusually, we don't have any intimations this week, as it seems that more and more folks are being encouraged to post their intimations and tributes online. And there's actually, it's funeral notices, funeral-notices.co.uk, where people can look at the tributes and they can put a tribute themselves or add a comment about a beloved one. So hopefully we'll get back to the printed ones, but none this week.
No electric vehicle upgrade for council. West Lothian cannot afford to replace current stock, by Stuart Somerville. West Lothian Council has said it cannot afford to replace any of its existing vehicle fleet with electric vehicles over the next 5 years. Officials said a £34 million replacement scheme would instead look to buy the most efficient diesel or petrol equivalent, and admitted the cost of electric vehicles and the investment needed in charging infrastructure was unaffordable. West Lothian is one of many Scottish councils to have declared a climate emergency, and the decision was branded deplorable. Only 10% of the council fleet is currently electric. A meeting of the Environment and Sustainability Policy Development and Scrutiny Panel held. Transport Officer Douglas West outlined the council's plans to slim down the current fleet of 966 vehicles to 850 by 2027 to 2028. The replacement programme will cost £34 million. A report to the PDSP said, "We have worked extensively with services to develop a vehicle replacement programme involving 850 vehicles over 5 years from 2024 to 25. This programme has been created in conjunction with services discussing vehicle types, utilisation and opportunities for vehicle sharing. The programme aims to deliver an overall reduced fleet size made up of the most efficient and operationally effective vehicles that can be delivered within budget." Pippa Plevin, representing the Joint Forum of Community Councils, asked, "You mentioned that you want to replace in a sustainable way, but it would be more useful if you gave some details of how that can be achieved. How many EVs, for instance?" Mr. West said, "We are always considering alternative fuel vehicles, but we have to consider budgetary availability. And in this case, we felt with the 5-year replacement programme that we have planned, the best use of the budget would be to replace with the most efficient diesel or petrol equivalent at this stage." The budget constraints are not limited to the purchase of the vehicle. We have to consider the installation of electric charging infrastructure, which is a massive outlay as well. The vehicles that we are bringing on are now utilising the most up-to-date engine technology, and the overall reduction of vehicles will also contribute to lowering our carbon output. Ms. Plevin said, "So you have no plans to replace them with EVs. That goes against other parts of the council that are trying to move to net zero. I think it's pretty deplorable." Mr. West replied, "At this stage, there are no plans to replace with EV. However, we are always exploring alternative fueled vehicles to see if they could become a realistic option with the budget constraints that we have." Mr. West said that hydrogen-fuelled vehicles cost 3 to 4 times what the money that diesel-fuelled vehicles do. The electric vehicles, which the council currently has, were funded through grant streams which are no longer available to support the difference between an electric vehicle and a petrol or diesel equivalent. Chair of the panel, Councillor Tom Conn, said, "The officer's comments puts my point of view into perspective." He added, "It's okay having national targets, but if the financial resources are not given to local authorities, then we are not going to meet those national targets. The Scottish Government isn't even meeting its own targets. We can only move forward with the resources that we actually have. The projection is that within 5 years, the Council will operate 87 large commercial vehicles over 3,500 kilograms, including refuse lorries and lorries." Sorry, that's just the way the Courier have written that. That's bizarre.
Sisters doing it for themselves. International Danish lifestyle and homewares brand Søstrene opened its doors to hundreds of delighted shoppers at the centre Livingston, some who had started queuing hours before it officially opened. Søstrene, which is a family business run by sisters Clara and Anna, was founded over 50 years ago and has over 300 stores across Europe, with an aim to open 100 UK stores by 2027. The new signature Scandinavian-inspired store opened last Friday. Shoppers were treated to special launch day offers and entertainment, and the store features everything including contemporary interiors and textiles, children's toys, soft furniture, kitchen accessories and gifts for all occasions, all at affordable prices. It's one of many new retailers to arrive at the shopping centre over the last year, including the luxury beauty and well-being brand from the Netherlands, Rituals, and Scotland's first Cinnabon. Patrick Roberts, Centre Director at the Centre Livingston, said, "We are delighted to welcome Søstrene to the Centre Livingston. There was a fantastic buzz in the shopping centre around the opening of the newly beautifully designed store, with lots of shoppers snapping up everything from homeware items and Christmas decorations to gifts for family and friends, and treating themselves too." UK joint venture partners for Søstrene, Richard Power and Norma Jacob, commented on the great turnout for the grand opening. Norma said, "We're delighted to have opened our new store at the Centre Livingston just in time for Christmas. It's an exciting time as the brand expands its presence across Scotland, and this marks our 5th opening in the country." Richard said, "Our opening morning saw a brilliant launch event, and the huge queues demonstrate how highly anticipated this new store has been. We're looking forward to introducing the local community to our brand." And there's 2 pictures, one quite a big one showing the ribbon cutting ceremony with 2 beautiful ballerinas side by side with the crowd, and then a small inset of the customers starting to buy their things and pay for them at the counters.
Workers get abuse while they carry out roadworks. Public vent their frustration, and the article is by Stuart Somerville. Road workers carrying out vital work in Linlithgow High Street were subjected to aggressive abuse from frustrated locals, West Lothian Council has heard. The resurfacing of roads and footways completely closed the street for 10 days, leaving shopkeepers and shoppers complaining and council staff and contractors on the front line. And the abuse suffered by staff working on the scheduled and vital upgrade was made worse by anger whipped up on social media. Local Lib Dem councillor Sally Pattle, who owns a bookshop in the town, slammed those who had abused staff, but admitted the roadworks had caused major disruption to local businesses. And she called for better consultation and communication over sensitive roadworks. She said, the major roadworks have encompassed several pieces of work that has been rolled into one major disruption, and which has included 10 days of total road closure, effectively cutting Linlithgow in two. Councillor Pattle said that the total closure had severely impacted people trying to go about their business and those living in surrounding residential streets, which they found then became rat runs for traffic trying to negotiate a route through the town. She added, Linlithgow High Street is rightly celebrated for its wealth of independent businesses, which should be enjoying a busy run-up to Christmas. Instead, many are sitting in empty shops and cafes. She added, in Linlithgow, we've got a town management group, a town centre manager, a business improvement district, and an active voluntary group of traders. None of these groups were consulted about the timing of these works. They would happily have sat down with the roads department and worked out a more suitable time for the work to take place. I have repeatedly asked what framework is used by the council to determine when works of this magnitude should take place. In the written response provided to me today, they state that they inform large businesses so that they can plan shift patterns, but apparently no consideration is given to small businesses. As a trader in the high street myself, I am acutely aware of the challenges we are facing with the combination of skyrocketing operating costs, the cost of living crisis, and the result of the recent budget, which is adding yet more pressure onto small and medium businesses. Councillor Pattle castigated those who had targeted the road crews with abuse. Of course it's not right for anyone to be cross with the workers. In fact, they've been incredibly helpful to traders trying to get deliveries, etc. The issue is the lack of consultation with regards to the timing and the failure to acknowledge the negative impact of this decision. This week, as workmen finalised the work and began dismantling barriers, a council spokesperson said it's a significant amount of work and sadly, council staff and the on-site contractor staff have been subject to considerable abusive and aggressive behaviour from members of the public. We are also aware of abuse directed at our staff by others on social media, alongside misinformation. This is from a minority of people, but it is really disappointing and nobody deserves this whilst working and doing their job. This kind of behaviour is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. The safety measures that are in place protecting the worksite are there for the protection of the public and road staff carrying out their duties. Cars and pedestrians are therefore not permitted to pass through barriers and into closed roads and footways. Unauthorised and illegal access to the site is not permitted at any time and may lead to injury, and unfortunately Police Scotland have had to be notified to assist the council in the instances that this has been recorded. We understand that there are people who are not satisfied with the roadworks and the impact that they have. However, they are carried out to improve roads and paths, and they will be over soon. Councillor Pattle said she intended to raise the issue with the council in the new year. We're going to take a break now, and the second part of the recording will start soon after that. And now we'll start section 2, which has some main news articles and also some sports news.
Crumbling concrete petition. National RAC campaigners have called on West Lothian Council to back their petition to the Scottish Government. A meeting of the full council voted in favour of a plea by Wilson Chowdhury, the leader of the campaign group, to be heard at this month's meeting. Mr Chowdhury last week presented a petition to MSPs at Holyrood on behalf of RAC homeowners from across Scotland. However, a local campaigner criticised the response the council had given to Mr Chowdhury after he appeared via a video link from his home on Tuesday. 3 councillors, Sally Pattle, Craig Meek and Andrew Maguire, voted against hearing the deputation. A 4th, Danny Logue, abstained. Ghost Estate campaigner Kerry McIntosh said, "Shame on those councillors who voted against hearing the deputation." Sally Pattle has homeowners and tenants who have RAC in their homes. These people need help. She added the council should be supporting the national campaign to raise funds for the homeowners. Mr Chowdhury told councillors he was disappointed at the council's stance not to offer financial help to tenants facing the RAC problems. He reiterated that he believed that the council could use existing legislation to tackle RAC. He told the meeting, RAC is not a routine housing repair issue, it is a public safety crisis. We are talking about structural instability that threatens the I'm sorry, I can't get that word out, sorry. The habitability of homes and the safety of residents. By treating this under the same approach as general home repairs, the council is failing to recognise the scale and urgency of the problem. He called on the council to work with the Scottish Government to secure funding.
MP calls for online abuse action. A West Lothian MP is calling on social media giant Facebook to do more to protect children from online abuse. Gregor Poynton MP is urging Facebook to take responsibility in the fight against online child abuse. This week he raised critical concerns during Home Office questions in the House of Commons regarding end-to-end encryption on Facebook platforms, potentially enabling the encrypted sharing of child abuse material. He said the fight against child sex abuse online is only as strong as its weakest link. Facebook's decision to allow the encrypted sharing of images makes them a very weak link indeed. Does the Minister share my concern, in fact my anger, that Facebook appear to be turning a blind eye while their platform becomes a safe haven for paedophiles? Responding, Jess Phillips MP, the Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Safeguarding and Violence Against Women and Girls, echoed the concerns and reaffirmed the government's commitment to protecting children online. She specifically highlighted the importance of Meta, Facebook's parent company, maintaining its role in preventing online child abuse rather than retreating from its responsibilities, saying, "What we all want to see is them continuing to play that positive role and not, as my honourable friend fears, going in the opposite direction." Commenting after the exchange, Poynton continued, "Protecting our children must be our top priority. Facebook's decision to implement end-to-end encryption without sufficient safeguards risks undermining years of progress in tackling online child abuse. While encryption has its place in ensuring privacy, it must not come at the expense of child safety. I will continue to press the government and tech companies to take urgent and decisive action."
Road closures for tree felling, an article by Debbie Hall. Tree felling for ash dieback on minor roads around Linlithgow will bring some disruption over the next 2 months. West Lothian's countryside officers have put together a felling programme on sites ranging from Ecclesmachan to Bathgate, with traffic control on partial road closures ranging from 1 to 4 days. While the felling is along mainly B and C roads, many of these are considered primary routes for locals heading into or out of Linlithgow, including the C19 road from B Craigs to Decament, which will be closed for 4 days from Monday, January the 13th. In all, 7 sites surrounding Linlithgow will see work starting next week at the B9080 at King's Cavil on December the 2nd. During July to September, the cyclical ash dieback surveying was undertaken by the Council's Trees and Woodland team. At that time, over 5,000 trees were resurveyed to determine the progress of the disease. This covered B, C and U roads as well as open space and urban trees. Felling and safety works began in mid-October in open space and urban areas, with roadside work to follow over the winter. Updates can be found on the Council's website. West Lothian Council continues to survey and monitor ash trees across the county, both on council and on private land where trees are within falling distance of a council asset. Surveying takes place predominantly in the summer. At present, surveying has been undertaken on the whole adopted road network.
Teacher comforts for lionesses. A pair of lionesses that were saved from a conflict zone in Ukraine have arrived in West Lothian. 4-year-olds Luna and Plusa arrived at Five Sisters Zoo in West Calder on Wednesday night. The animals were rescued from a part of East Ukraine in 2022 that was heavily affected by shelling. After being rescued from the war zone, the lionesses, who were kept by a private owner, were moved through Kiev to a zoo in Poland after receiving medical care. They were then transported via Belgium to finally reach safety in Scotland. According to officials at Five Sisters Zoo, their purpose-built habitat will provide optimal conditions for Luna and Plusa to recover following their distressing journey. They say it marks an important milestone in the West Lothian Zoo's history of animal welfare and rehabilitation. The head of carnivores at Five Sisters Zoo, Gary Curran, said, "The safe arrival of Luna and Plusa underscores our commitment to give lions a second chance at life. Our team is ready to provide the care and support they need to live out their lives in peace, just as we have done for others before." The rescue of Luna and Plusa continues Five Sisters Zoo's legacy of saving animals in need. In October 2015, the zoo previously received 4 lions that had been suffering in a travelling circus. Five Sisters Zoo is allowing visitors wishing to help the lionesses' recovery to make a one-off donation. The money will help fund the lions' initial husbandry and veterinary care. And there is an accompanying picture of Luna and Plusa, who are inside their enclosure. They're in the enclosed part of it, but they're looking out into the daylight, into the outside part, and they actually look quite interested, so hopefully they settle in well in their new home.
Help spread some joy this Christmas. Kidsy Co. Christmas Appeal, an article by Debbie Hall. This Christmas you can bring joy to a local family by donating to the Kidsy Co. Christmas Dinner Appeal. The social enterprise has launched its festive campaign for this year, and for just £50 you can provide a family with all the ingredients they need for a traditional Christmas dinner, along with some festive treats. Each child in the family will also receive a Christmas gift or cosy pyjamas, making their holiday season warmer and brighter. Founding director Tracy Murdoch explained, "For the past 4 years, this campaign has spread holiday cheer across West Lothian. Last year, with the help of our community, we delivered 75 Christmas dinners. This year, we're aiming even higher with a goal to support 100 families. We work closely with local healthcare providers and support services to reach families who might otherwise go without. Your donation will ensure these families enjoy not only a delicious hot meal, but also the joy of unwrapping a gift on Christmas morning. Tracy said her team loves to hear what the donation means to the families. One local said last year, "I have just received my Christmas dinner delivery, and I'm so blown away by the kindness and generosity. You are all worth your weight in gold into our community. We hope that once we are on our feet financially, we can give back to those who helped us when we needed it most." This year, you can make a difference in any amount. Donate £10 to provide a child with new pyjamas, £20 to purchase a new toy for a child to enjoy, or £50 to fund a full Christmas dinner for a family facing financial hardship. Tracy continued, "Together, let's bring a little Christmas magic into our community. Every donation, large or small, brings us closer to our goal of making the holidays special for families who need it most. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. To donate to this great cause, visit www.crowdfunder.co.uk/p/Christmas-dinner-appeal. And there's a picture of some colleagues from Skye who helped distribute some of the gifts, and also some of the Kids Eco staff looking very happy because they know they're going to help some families out this Christmas.
Zoo appeal after escaped rare bird caught on camera. A West Lothian man has captured an image of a rare bird after it escaped its enclosure at a local zoo. The red-billed blue magpie escaped from Five Sisters Zoo around 2 weeks ago. Locals had spotted the bird around their community in Livingston, which piqued the interest of local twitchers. David Jimison, 60, from Livingston, is a keen photographer who enjoys capturing wildlife in his area, and after hearing about several sightings of the magpie, he headed there to try to capture some photographs. The factory worker, who does not wish to reveal the exact area he spotted the magpie, was close to giving up after a few near misses, but was able to capture some spectacular snaps of the bird. "I was informed the bird had escaped from Five Sisters Zoo," he said. "Someone told me the rough area where it was, and so all I had to do was find it. I was there for about 2 to 3 hours and spotted it a couple of times in the woods, but I couldn't really get a good picture. But just before I called it a day, it appeared in the grass right in front of me. I got a few pictures before it flew off. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have asked for better. I was over the moon. I got the chance to see it, never mind get some good pictures. There is nothing better for me than getting out and about capturing local wildlife." According to eBird, red-billed blue magpies are native to Southeast Asia and are known for being aggressive and scaring away other birds in their area. They often seek food in both the trees and on the ground level and eat a variety of fruits and seeds, as well as other small animals, including birds' eggs. Traditionally located in woodlands, the magpies have begun to adapt to living in population centres like Beijing. Five Sisters Zoo has requested the public do not approach the bird or try to catch it, while adding they have notified all the relevant authorities regarding the escaped bird. Five Sisters Zoo management team said, "Five Sisters Zoo can confirm that one of our birds, a red-billed blue magpie, has recently escaped from its enclosure. The incident was promptly reported to the relevant authorities, and we have been actively working to bring the bird safely back to the zoo. The bird has settled in a specific area, and our team is closely monitoring the situation to ensure its well-being. We are implementing careful and strategic measures to facilitate its safe return. We kindly ask residents in the area not to approach or attempt to capture the bird. Any such actions may disturb the bird, causing it to relocate, which would make our efforts to recover it significantly more challenging. Please be reassured that there is no immediate danger to the general public. If you spot the bird, we urge you to contact Five Sisters Zoo directly at 01506 870 000 with information on its location. We appreciate the public's understanding and support as we work to resolve this situation.
Gentle giant Harley sniffing out new home. Great Dane Cross loves company by Debbie Hall. The Dogs Trust Rehoming Centre in West Calder is currently home to the tallest dog that the staff have ever cared for. Great Dane crossbreed Harley is 76 centimetres tall when standing on his back paws and weighs a whopping 47 kilograms, the same as a baby hippo. Harley was handed into the care of Dogs Trust West Calder in May this year after his previous owner's circumstances changed, which meant they could no longer provide him with the home he required. The 1-year-old gentle giant has the sweetest personality and brings a smile to his carers' faces every day with his comical facial expressions and playful antics. Harley absolutely loves his toys, especially soft squeaky ones, and his football, which are all thrown around with great gusto due to his strength and joie de vivre. Susan Toner, manager of Dogs Trust West Calder, said, "Harley is the tallest dog we have ever cared for. He is an incredibly sweet-natured dog who has no idea of his size. He loves human company and is our BFG, big friendly giant, who is affable, playful, and loves nothing more than a fuss and a cuddle. He requires an owner who can cope with caring for a big, strong dog and who owns a rather large sofa they don't mind sharing with Harley, as he enjoys affection and cuddling in for some quiet time. As a youngster, he would benefit from further training, especially when meeting new people. As he loves people so much, he can get excited and forget his manners. He enjoys learning new things and is a clever lad, so learns very quickly. Harley prefers human company to that of other dogs, so further training around meeting other dogs will also be required. His favourite walks are in quiet locations where he can relax and take in the sights and smells. Whoever adopts Harley will be guaranteed a life full of fun, joy and laughter with this lovable lad. Harley is looking for a home with plenty of space that has direct access to a garden where he can play and stretch his long legs. He has been muzzle trained as he can be unsure how to react when he meets other dogs. Harley requires to be the only pet in the home and could live with children aged 14 years and over. He is strong on the lead, so his adopters must be able to manage his strength and enthusiasm for life and be willing to provide further training to improve his manners. You can visit Dogs Trust at dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder for more details. And there's a beautiful picture of him. He looks a bit like Scooby-Doo. He's up on his hind legs with his 2 front paws resting on a wooden fence, and his paws look bigger than my hands. He's got a tan coat with dark black ears and a black muzzle and a black nose and black eyes, and he's just gorgeous.
Author to visit dyslexia group. This is an article again by Debbie Hall. A support group for people with dyslexia will be meeting next month. Dyslexia Scotland, West Lothian, is one of a network of volunteer-led branches across Scotland. They offer a range of information and advice about dyslexia, and their next meeting is on Thursday, December 5th at the Jim Walker Partnership Centre, Bathgate Partnership Centre, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. The guest speaker will be author Alistair Chisholm, an award-winning author of picture books, chapter books about dragons and sci-fi for older kids. His novel Orion Lost was shortlisted for the Waterstones Children's Book Award, and Adam 2 was the Blackwell's Children's Book of the Year. Reek is his first book with publishers Barrington Stoke, who came to make reading accessible to all. During the interactive event, Alistair will chat about science fiction, guessing the future, ideas that haven't changed the world, and what he believes is the greatest human invention of them all. Everyone is welcome. Tickets for this free event are available from Ticket Tailor at https://buytickets.at/dyslexia Scotland West Lothian /1471463 or by emailing dswestlothian@gmail.com. It's aimed at 8 to 14-year-olds, and participants will get a chance to win copies of Reek and other dyslexia-friendly books. Alistair's visit was made possible by live literature funding from the Scottish Book Trust. The West Lothian branch of Dyslexia Scotland aims to provide advice and support for dyslexic children and adults and their families, and those who work with them, including teachers and employers. For more information, search for Dyslexia Scotland West Lothian branch on Facebook or email dswestlothian@gmail.com or visit dyslexiascotland.org.uk.
Jewels worth £3,000 are stolen by thieves. West Lothian police officers are appealing for information after a house was broken into at a Leyland Road, Bathgate. The incident happened between midday on Wednesday, November the 20th and 10:30pm on Friday, November the 22nd. Jewellery with a value of around £3,000 was taken, including a pearl necklace, a marquee cut silver ring, a halo cut silver ring, an Armani rose gold watch, a volcanic gemstone bracelet with matching earrings, a gold wedding band with initials, and a gold diamond and emerald ring. A housebreaking at a property in the Meikle Inch Lane area of Bathgate on Thursday, November the 21st, where jewellery was also taken, is being treated as linked. Anyone who can help is asked to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 4114 of Friday, November the 22nd, 2024, or make a call anonymously to Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
Will you be Santa for a senior? Local home care company Home Instead are excited to launch their Be a Santa Christmas gift-giving campaign for the 5th year running. It asks locals to donate gifts for isolated older people across West Lothian at Christmas. Home Instead, which opened in October 2020, provides care to elderly and vulnerable people in the comfort of their own homes. The company have again teamed up with various charities and groups in the local area to help identify older people who may not otherwise receive a present over the festive season. They are now asking for help from members of the public to help donate gifts that will then be wrapped and delivered to these vulnerable individuals in time for Christmas. There are various collection points throughout West Lothian where people can donate their gifts, and also an Amazon wish list where people can choose and order gifts to send directly to the Home Instead office. Graham Stevenson, owner of Home Instead, commented, "Although we provide companionship and care to our clients, keeping them safe and well as preventing instances of isolation and loneliness, we know not all older people are so lucky. Winter this year will be challenging for many older people, and we want to remind them that the local community are thinking of them by gifting small presents, bringing some festive cheer." To find out more about Home Instead or their Be a Santa Christmas campaign, you can call 01506 346 046, or you can visit Home Instead online and you can look for Be a Santa 2024 for more details on their website. And there are accompanying pictures of volunteers who look very festive. They have been busy wrapping up parcels, and they are standing in front of a Christmas tree with a giant box of things that people have donated. There are also pictures of people, the volunteers, delivering gifts to people in their homes who look very happy to receive a visit and a present. And I think at this time of year, it's nice to remember other people, and for people to donate. It's put a smile on a lot of people's faces in this article. It's lovely.
Scottish Cup third round clash. Lions are warned to stay hungry. And this is an article by Andrew McGilvray. David Martindale has warned Livingston not to become a Scottish Cup scalp for Brora Rangers, and says that they'll approach the third round tie like a championship game. While Martindale says anything can happen in a one-off cup tie, and that the title-chasing Highland League side will fancy their chances in West Lothian, a professional performance should see the Lions progress and wants them to go on a run. Martindale has done his homework on the Sutherland club and knows what to anticipate, but says that all the focus will be on what Livingston can do in front of their own fans. He said, "In the Scottish Cup, anything can happen in one-off games, so we'll treat it like any other fixture and we'll worry about Livingston, what we can do and how we're going to approach the game. We'll obviously analyse the opposition and see what threats they're going to bring, but it's more about us, and I don't mean any disrespect to Brora. That's how we've approached most games this season. We look at us, how we're trying to play, what we're trying to do, and Saturday will not be any different. There are lots of uncontrollables in football. That's why everyone loves it, because there are banana splits. There are a lot of things in football that are out with your control. Brora will fancy their chances. They'll come here, and they've taken big scalps previously in the Scottish Cup over the years, so they will be difficult, and it will not be an easy game. I'm under no illusions of that, but it's one thing that we're more than capable of winning." Martindale added, "I wouldn't mind a Scottish Cup run. It has been the one competition from my time at Livingston that I'm probably going to say I feel I've underperformed in, and that we've underperformed in. It is a competition that I want to do better in, that we need to do better in. We're in the SPFL Trust Trophy semi-final, still in the Scottish Cup and second in the league, so there is a lot to like about the season, but we can't let complacency set it. We just need to take it one game at a time. I know it's an opportunity to progress in a cup tie and bring some much-needed income into the club. Should he play midfielder Scott Pittman, he will clock up his 400th appearance for Livingston, an incredible feat less than 10 years after signing from Bo'ness United for £300,000. Martindale said, "Wee Pitts is approaching 400 games, and I can't see it ever being done again at Livingston. In modern-day football, you don't really get that loyalty with players that are going to continuously play for 40-odd games a season. He's going into his 10th year in February, so that's 40 games a season that Pitts has been available in and played, which is a phenomenal stat and one he should be very proud of. Pound for pound, the best signing I've ever made. The wee man has played 400 games. He cost us £300,000 from Bo'ness. We've had some big signings over the years. Nicky Devlin, James Penrice, Craig Halkett, Liam Kelly, Lyndon Dykes. But when you look at the output from the individual, Wee Pitts has played 400 games for his local club, and that alone tells you the story. There have been some phenomenal players here over the past years, but none of them have gone up on to play the amount of football that Wee Pitts has played. Pittman was due to mark the milestone against Airdrie at New Broomfield last Saturday, but Storm Bert had other ideas. Martindale said, "I think for the safety of everyone involved, I think it was the correct decision. It's another midweek needed, but there are 8 of us having to do that, so there's no real disadvantage. There's only one game played and I'm fairly comfortable. And there's a picture here of number 8, Pittman, who's obviously a star player and a long-time server of Livingston Football Club.
Bolter makes history in British indoor final, and it's another article by Andy McGilvray. Livingston kart racer John Bolter aims to follow his hero Lewis Hamilton into motorsport and was given a taste of the limelight at Silverstone earlier this month. Bolter, 16, finished third in the British Indoor Karting Championships in the middleweight section, and in so doing became the first Scottish driver to podium at the national finals. His triumphant finale was also live-streamed on YouTube, attracting over 20,000 views. John was presented with his trophy at the glittering British Karting Awards at Silverstone and loved every second of his experience. And Bolter is in pole position to nab second spot in the Larkhall Karting Championships when he races at Larkhall Circuit in December. Dad Chris said, "Winning third place is brilliant, we're delighted. John started karting when he was about 8 and this is his third season in British Indoor now. This is the biggest thing he has achieved. It was amazing to see him finish third. It was down in Warrington where they had the finals, and so that was the culmination of a long day and exciting stuff. It's quite a big event. It's a good one, and we've been back and watched it again since on YouTube. It is quite fun with the last 10 minutes of the race, even though we know what the result is going to be." John travelled to Silverstone with Mum Gail for the awards and was delighted with the evening. Chris said, "It was absolutely fantastic. It was a brilliant event. I think they had about 200 people there in total, a black tie dinner kind of set-up, and it felt really special." John doesn't get to go to awards very often, and I think it was the biggest night out he has ever had. It's the home of motor racing, it's a nice venue, and they get to walk across a glass walkway that goes across the circuit, so you get your photos and things taken there before you go on to the reception centre within Silverstone. You also get a Motorsport UK trophy that goes alongside the one you got on the day. John is dedicated to it. It's all in his free time. He's either karting or watching it, because there's lots of stuff to see online, so he loves racing in general. This is something he really wants to pursue. He's desperate to get some kind of career in racing. It's what he really wants to do. It's hard because it's very competitive, but it's his dream. He's a big Lewis Hamilton fan. I think most drivers would probably say that, but I think that's his biggest hero in the sport. Chris hopes for further success and added, "It's almost the end of the season. There's one other championship race to go, which is in Larkhall, and they've got an outdoor karting championship. They have a championship at the course for the season with one more race to go, and he's sitting second in that at the moment. To lock in a trophy there would be good. I think first is going to be almost impossible, but locking in second would be the goal, and that would be the end of a really good season. There are about 40 people who go in for this, so it's a pretty good result again." And there's a really nice photograph of young John with his trophies, and he's got a table literally full of trophies, and he's holding up the one that he got at Silverstone. A very talented young man.
Gallagher goes for tour card. Bathgate golfer Stephen Gallagher reckons he has got what it takes to snag a full 2025 Over 50s Champions Tour membership card in Phoenix, Arizona next week. Gallagher, who recently hit the milestone, hopes to join Padre Harrington and Colin Montgomery, having finished second at the penultimate qualifying event in California last week, ahead of the final qualifier at TPC Scottsdale from December the 3rd to the 6th. Australian Matt Gogan birdied the closing 2 to win by a shot at 15 under on Friday, forcing Gallagher to settle for second, having led or shared the lead for 70 holes. Gallagher said, "I'm delighted. That's 1 down, 1 to go. Phoenix is going to be a bit tougher with only 5 spots up for grabs, but I was never outside the top 2 here, so let's give it a go."
Ross hopes to stun favourites Wraith. Gordon Herd has urged his underdog Linlithgow Rose side to pull off a major Scottish Cup third-round shock against Wraith Rovers on Saturday. Herd is dreaming of a glamorous tie, as Rose could go into the hat alongside Rangers and Celtic, but warns that Rovers will be looking to revive their fortunes as they sit 6th in the Championship. He said, "It's huge. I think it's the 3rd time we've played Wraith in 10 years in the Scottish Cup, so they'll be familiar with the ground and will bring a large support. There's no pressure on us. We're looking for the boys just to give us everything they've got and see what happens after 90 minutes. Wraith are a good side. There's maybe a wee bit of added pressure on them with how they've been playing, but they'll see it as a wee chance to kickstart their season. We would need all the stars to line up on the day for a shock to happen, but there have been bigger ones in the competition. The financial aspect of the club would be excellent. We would go into the glamour hat with the likes of Rangers and Celtic, but the Wraith are massive favourites. We've got to enjoy the occasion, play to our capabilities and see where it takes us." Rose's Lowland League fixture at home to Cumbernauld Colts was postponed, but Herd pre-booked a friendly against Dunipace.
MP's Christmas card competition. Gregor Poynton MP has invited every primary school within the Livingston constituency to take part in his first Christmas card competition. Mr. Poynton is looking for a hand-drawn festive picture to feature on the front of his parliamentary Christmas cards, which will be sent to constituents, businesses and local stakeholders over the festive period. Every primary school in the Livingston constituency, class or student is welcome to enter, and the artwork should be no larger than A5. The theme of the card is Christmas in Livingston, as Mr. Poynton wants to capture what Christmas means to young residents. The winning design will be featured on both printed and digital Christmas cards, and the winner will also receive a printed card featuring their own design. Commenting on the competition, he said, "This is a chance to bring our community together for the holidays and to recognise what Christmas really means to our young people. Anyone interested in participating should speak with their primary school and encourage them to contact Mr. Poynton's office at Craig's Farm Campus, Marie Walk, Livingston, EH 54 5BP, or send scanned copies via email to gregor.poyntonmp@Parliament UK. Well, that's us at the end of this week's recording, so when you've finished listening to it, please put the memory stick back into the folder and return it to us as soon as you can. Please remember to turn over the address label, leaving the cut-off corner at the top right-hand side. With that, it's goodbye from me, Rebecca.
Goodbye from me, Joanne.
Goodbye from me, Jane.
Good night.